Hi, so my name's Jamie with MyTarot.org, and last weekend I did a class on empathy and intuition in the tarot, and I like to teach it by using the history of the tarot. And from that point, discussions started coming up within the tarot about things like what is the definition of truth, what is truth, and then we start talking about the two holy men in the tarot. So we have the Hierophant, which is the high holy man, who is the one that gives us the truth, tells us what the truth is, and how the truth should be, as compared to the Hermit, who is a seeker of the truth. So I started having this big philosophical debate with myself in the shower, where I have most of my philosophical debates. And so I just kind of wanted to get this out onto the video just so I could kind of sort this out in my head. And so I was thinking about the distinction between card 5, the Hierophant, and card 9, which is the Hermit. So, and what their different approaches to the truth is. So, the Hierophant, he's aware of the truth and he imparts it on others. He's aware of the truth that he was taught or they were taught. While the Hermit's going to go out and scrutinize the truths. The Hermit goes out to the mountain to seek out the truth. And what I found is that understanding the original sequence of the tarot prior to its alteration in 1909 was kind of critical to this philosophical debate I was having. Because justice, as we see here, was originally card 8, which precedes the Hermit. And I realized that as we talk about the Fool's Journey, as we look at this path, I realize it's through the Justice card that we're taught to perceive the truth with clarity. It's with the Justice card that's so important because it emphasizes facts and the recognition and acceptance of reality as it is. With the Justice, there is no room for arguments born of ignorance. Everything we've learned up to this point, when we face justice, is either validated or refused, categorized as right or wrong, factual or fictitious, and it's going to be seen through the discerning eyes of justice. So, as we move forward in the Fool's Journey, the Hermit has to be prepared to turn the wheel. The Wheel of Fortune is a wheel of destiny. And it's at that pivotal moment that will reveal whether we possess the strength, which is why I say it's important that we have that. For me, when I'm teaching, going back to the way these cards were for hundreds of years, before Arthur Waite said, well, there's scales, so this must be Libra, let me move it here. That's one of the understandings I have as to why he swapped the two. But it's with the Wheel of Fortune and the moment that's so pivotal that will reveal whether we possess the strength to embrace a truthful path or whether we'll deviate and seek the refuge and comfort and security of an unexamined life. So, as we're going through this and we talk about the Fool's Journey, once we get to the Hermit is going to seek out truth. He's going to spin the wheel of destiny, and he needs to have the strength to accept what's coming next. And he does that with 11, which is strength. so that he can move on to 12, where we can find acceptance of sacrifice with the Hanged Man. Because keep in mind that the Hanged Man was originally called the traitor. It was originally called the traitor. And you saw people that were hung by one leg, you knew they were the traitor. But one man's traitor is another man's hero. Somebody who is willing to accept the sacrifice. So we need to have the strength of our convictions of what we've learned, spin that wheel, and accept the consequences of what we've learned. So we have an option. We can say, I'm going to continue on this path. I don't want to look at the truth for what it is because it's too painful or too many other things. So we can use the chariot. We can hop in the chariot and force our way through the fool's journey, because that's what a lot of people do in life, don't we? We bypass justice and what we see there. We bypass the hermit because our will is strong enough to say my way or the highway. We blow through the wheel of fortune and come what may. We don't need to sacrifice. We don't need the tolerance that we are, the temperance that we find. We don't need that because, again, we are the chariot and we're going to finish this path the way we see it. And then we come to death. And the chariot is just going to blow through any transition. It's just going to say, I don't want to see it. I'm not accepting it. I'm going through. And here's the point about that. About not actually understanding the fool's journey is because if we don't actually follow the hermit and understand our truths, if we get to the devil card, if we get to card 15, this is where we need to cover up all those angers, angst. We know it's true by this point, but if we can't accept it, then this is why we say card 15, the devil's about our addictions. It's about the harms we do to ourselves or others. It's about those things that we cover up inside, because instead of following the hermit, again, we're living our lives using the chariot, which is self-will run riot. But here's the point to it all, is that if we decide to do that, because we're going to force our way through lives, then we're going to hit what was originally called La Maison Dieu. It was originally called the House of God. And with this card here, what I like to describe when I'm reading for people is I'd like to say with the Tower, with this card, it's not about that physical destruction. The Tower, the way I describe it, is what's the one thing that hurts worse than a lie? And I ask this almost every time the Tower comes up. What's the one thing that hurts worse than a lie? And if you've watched my videos, you know the one thing that can hurt worse than a lie is the truth. The truth can bring down kingdoms. The truth can bring down families and ruin lives. It's the light of truth that we were supposed to learn with the hermit. So if we try and take a shortcut and just bypass the hermit and all those other life lessons, then it is going to catch up with us. And we're going to cause a lot of damage along the way. And the devil card is in the sequence for a reason, because that's our final step before our downfall. So I just wanted to kind of get that out into the ether, because that was in my head. And it just seemed kind of important to me, you know, because I use the tarot daily for meditation, for seeking insight, all that other wonderful stuff we talk about. So with that, I just want to say thank you to everybody. And I will hopefully be seeing you later also. Thanks again.